ultimate skill. We are angry! Popol and Koopa become enraged, gaining extra attack speed and movement speed. At the same time, Koopa will enter Alpha Wolf form, restoring all HP and boosting the power of their first and second skill. We Are Angry is Popol and Koopa's core skill. The extra attack speed and movement speed will take Popol and Koopa's damage output to another level. In addition, Koopa's Alpha Wolf form grants them even more overwhelming power. First skill. Bite him, Koopa! Popol throws a spear at an enemy target, dealing physical damage. Meanwhile, he signals Koopa to spring upon and bite the target, dealing damage for a second time. When Koopa's in his Alpha Wolf form, he'll be able to launch an attack from a longer distance, dealing more damage while stunning the target. This skill serves as Popol and Koopa's primary source of damage. It allows them to target enemies with precision, and there's just no way to escape the fangs of Koopa. Koopa's Alpha Wolf form can provide extra control and damage to this skill, helping Popol to get an upper hand in 1v1 or even 1v2 situations.
Kindred's W is Wolf's Frenzy. Passively, Wolf's Frenzy builds up stacks as Kindred moves about the map. Once Kindred hits max stacks, Lamb's next basic attack heals them. Whenever Kindred activates Wolf's Frenzy, Wolf splits away from Lamb and claims a medium-sized area for a few seconds. Wolf fights independently inside this area, but will focus his attacks on whomever Lamb is shooting. But if Lamb leaves Wolf's Frenzy, Wolf will pack up shop and rejoin his woolly pal. Also, the cooldown on Dance of Arrows is massively reduced while in Wolf's Frenzy, regardless of which ability you hit first. You'll always want to fight inside Wolf's Frenzy, so use the reduced cooldown on Dance of Arrows to stay in the zone and get your damage on. Next up is Kindred's E, Mounting Dread, a heavy targeted slow that applies an additional debuff to its target. If Lamb's able to attack them 3 times in quick succession, Wolf lunges out to deal % max health damage. Mounting Dread is great for starting your game. It's also really useful when you're facing tanky jungle monsters.
Passive. Caprice. Granger can fill up to 6 bullets at a time. As 6 is his lucky number, each 6th bullet deals critical damage. Granger gains less attack speed buffs from skills, passives, and equipment items. However, basic attacks deal more damage in general. The lucky effect of Granger's 6th bullet is not limited to his basic attacks, but also works with his first skill and ultimate.
Jin's passive is named after his gun, Whisper, and has 2 components. First, Whisper can only chamber 4 bullets, the last of which always crits and deals bonus damage based on his target's missing health. After he's fired his 4th bullet, or if a few seconds pass without him firing at all, Jin will take a moment to reload. Second, Whisper has a fixed attack speed, and any attack speed and crit chance he gets during a game converts into attack damage. His crits deal less damage than usual, but give him a burst of movement speed based on his would-be attack speed. The TLDR is that Jin's going to attack a lot slower, but deal a lot more damage per shot, while any crit and AS bias will help him kite or chase.
Skill. Ultimate. Death Sonata. Granger transforms his violin into a super cannon and loads out all his super bullets. 2 super bullets will be fired each shot. Super Bullet ignores minions and can only hit enemy heroes. Upon hitting the first enemy hero, Super Bullet will explode. Enemies within the area take physical damage and will be slowed. After each shot, Granger can roll to another location. When Death Sonata ends, the CD of this skill will be reduced by 20% for each shot remaining. Regardless of whether you are in pursuit of an enemy or on the run, take good advantage of this skill to reposition.
Finally, Jin's ultimate is Curtain Call. On first activation, Jin takes aim in a broad target area. He can then reactivate Curtain Call to fire up to 4 shots. Each bullet reveals the area around them as they travel, damaging minions and monsters in their path and stopping at the first enemy champion struck. Each round slows the champion they hit and deals increasing damage based on the snipee's missing health. In case you haven't picked up on it yet, 4 is totally Jin's favorite number, so the deadliest bullet, which is guaranteed to crit, comes last. Finally, if his targets all manage to duck hunt their way out of Jin's target area, he can cancel Curtain Call early and refund a portion of its cooldown based on the number of unspent bullets. Curtain Call is clearly a super powerful execute move, but sometimes you're better off using it to slow distant enemies for your allies that are chasing them down. Or you can just steal all their kills. I mean, you're a marksman, you do need the gold more than they do.
First skill, Rhapsody. Granger fills his bullets and shoots them all forward, dealing physical damage to targets. Rhapsody is Granger's primary damage-dealing skill. The last bullet of the skill guarantees critical damage. So watch your aim to make sure the last bullet hits the target.
Lucian's ultimate is the Culling. Upon activation, Lucian's basic attack is disabled, while he unleashes a barrage of light energy in target direction, dealing a mix of physical and magic damage. Each projectile damages the first enemy in its path, so tanks can body block for more fragile allies. Lucian can move, dash, and use summoner spells to reposition while his ultimate is active. His other abilities are unavailable during the channel time. If he scores a kill while the Culling is active, the cooldown on Relentless Pursuit resets for another dash. There is no limit on the number of times he can reset this dash while channeling his ultimate. The Culling deals bonus damage to minions, so Lucian can quickly burn through a wave onto higher priority targets. If your opponent jukes out of your line of fire, you can trigger the ability again to cancel your ultimate and resume your attack.
The target. Second skill, Rondo. Granger blinks in the chosen direction. For a few seconds, Granger's next 2 basic attacks deal extra damage. Each time Rhapsody hits an enemy hero, the CD of this skill will be reduced by 0.5 seconds. It's a great combo using the skill to change your position in battle, and using Rhapsody to deal high damage, as it highly increases the hit rate of Rhapsody and reduces the CD time of this.
Relentless Pursuit is a short-range dash that removes all slowing effects from Lucian. If Lucian finds himself cornered, Relentless Pursuit can also hop over terrain and barriers. Here are a few key escape routes you might find useful.
Her passive skill is still like the old one, where it grants her attack speed every time she attacks. But you can now see a counter for her passive skill.
Watch your back.
When it reaches full stack, she summons a Moonlight Shadow that will help her in doing basic attacks just like this.
I can handle that.
Frost Shot causes each of Ashe's basic attacks to slow enemy movement speed while consuming mana on each hit when toggled on. Toggle Frost Shot on to keep enemies at bay or to hold them in range to pick up a kill.
Eternal Evil. Argus transforms into a fallen angel and becomes immune to death for 5 seconds. Under the effect, 40% of damage dealt by him is converted to his health.
Immune to death for a few seconds, holding at 1 health if you were to take fatal damage. This ability can be cast while stunned, silenced, or otherwise incapacitated. As an added note, you typically want to use Bloodlust to heal yourself right as Undying Rage ends to help you survive.
His ultimate is still the same as before except for its damage. The damage is now weaker compared to the old one. Here is their difference.
Be steady like rock. Channel your energy.
Yasuo's ultimate is Last Breath, which has an enormous cast range but can only be used on airborne enemy champions. Activating Last Breath teleports Yasuo to his target, suspending them in midair briefly while he deals physical damage to them. After landing, Yasuo gains a huge long-lasting armor penetration buff that affects enemy champion bonus armor. There are 2 important aspects worth pointing out here. First, Last Breath suspends and strikes all airborne enemies in the area near Yasuo's target. Second, Yasuo can capitalize on any knockup ability with Last Breath, making him synergize extremely well with champions like Janna. His ultimate is Lifeform Disintegration Ray, a powerful channeled ability with the potential to deal tons of damage to tons of enemies. After activating Lifeform Disintegration Ray, Vel'Koz is immobilized as he fires at a long-range laser that follows your cursor for a few seconds.